one of our viewers wrote in and said, I found out a long time ago I was attracted to large, full-size women. I've been involved with all body types throughout my dating life, and it's always been the personality of the woman that's the deciding factor. I'm in an open long-term relationship with incredible women. I've had a few threesomes, and now I want to play with a full-size man. She says she asks only that I be safe. Any advice? I'm here with Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
And I am here with Cathy Bartuli of the IntimacyDojo.com. I thought they were going to ask you out on a date.
Oh.
I thought this was that comment.
No.
Okay.
I didn't see
Okay, advice for finding. So this is a gentleman, it sounds like, not that it matters.
It's a gentleman from the
The gentleman is looking for a full-size gentleman.
to play with.
Okay.
To have a threesome with.
Okay. So any advice about how to have a threesome?
Yeah, like how to find a full-size gentleman, I believe.
Okay. Well, we've done a ton of videos on threesomes. So go watch all of those, because the advice is going to be the same for me, irregardless of size or shape,
right?
Or what people are into, right? Like if your fantasy is to have a threesome with all redheads, good on you. Like my big questions are your partners are they willing to wear wigs? Does that count? Like what do you need? And then as far as like full size people of any gender, now it's kind of a dating your species watering hole conversation, right? Like where do you find those folks? Which for me is about like where do people who might be up for a threesome or already be good at threesomes, stack the deck in your favor, people who've already had successful threesomes be hanging out.
Someplace like maybe Dark Odyssey or
any like, I mean, again, like this isn't, these are, go to where, I think, all my advice, I think you're better served by looking in places where people are already exploring three-ways, and then ask around or go talk to the people of size at those events or those workshops or those groups, and then be really honest about, hey, this is what I'm wanting to explore.
Yeah, and I know as a big woman, I've had people, I don't like being objectified for my size. Some people are okay with being objectified for various things. But
what's this might be another video, I'm not promising we'll answer this now. What's the distinction for you between objectification and a preference or a turn on?
I think it's a great video and we should come back for it, but I'm going to answer a little bit here. If someone's only wanting me for my size and they don't care about anything in here or who I am as a person, I feel objectified.
Okay.
Versus someone who's like, wow,
let's
I love
start with this.
Yeah.
Because this is a thing I'm looking for.
Like, I'm attracted to you and what's inside there is pretty good. But there's probably places on FetLife too where you could find people that are fine with you just saying, I want a larger man. And they might be like, yes, me, please. And there might be some people like, wow, I don't want to have sex with you just because you want someone who's bigger.
Yeah, and depending on, like, there's Facebook groups as well, like mostly non-monogamy polyamory groups, swinger groups, things like that might be a good place to start, because your thing is, hey, I'm looking to have a threesome, and there's some things I haven't explored yet that I'm really curious about. Or in this situation, because it doesn't have to be a threesome,
right? Like,
I'm looking for a man who likes sleeping with men.
Yeah.
And this is where we get really nitpicky. Not a man who's open to trying sleeping with men. I would stack the deck in your favor and be like, no, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I love sleeping with men. Like, this is really fun for me. And then you're like, oh, you might be a better person for me to pick for my first time.
Yeah.
Rather than, for your first time, trying to help somebody else have their first time, which can still work out fine. I'm just going to be greedy and tell you to do it my way. Because you are picking somebody who's already excited and already knows they like this thing. And then, if it's a man of size, it would, in a polite, kind way, be like, hey, this is my fantasy. And I'm worried, like Cathy said, about objectification. Like, this is a thing that's a concern of mine. So I would like to respectfully toss my hat into the ring to any of you interested, but knowing I want to be mindful that I'm not objectifying you, and I love women of size, and I'm curious if I would like men of size. I would like to explore this thing. In certain communities, I think that that's probably, your mileage may vary. You might get some people who are a little, upset about you being so explicit.
Yeah. I think it's great that if you know what you want, it's for me, when I've had people objectify me and it just felt like it's not my turn on at all. So it didn't feel good to me.
Would it have felt less objectifying if they said, as they were objectifying you, hey, just so you know, like, I'm aware of objectification dynamics, and maybe I'm not on top of it, but I just want to let you know that I know that can be a thing?
Yeah, I think that might have helped. The people that I'm thinking of they weren't aware at that level. Mm-hmm. And I think we should do another video about that.
God, more videos, man. What's this YouTube channel about? Hit subscribe. Maybe? Please?